I am back from my hiatus, and man, it feels good to be back in my kitchen. I've been away because I've been performing in a play in the LA area, and in that play, my character ate a ton of butterscotch. I should be totally sick of the stuff by now, but I'm not, because I love butterscotch, and so I thought it might be fun to take a stab at some old-fashioned butterscotch hard candy, but with cannabis butter. I've never made hard candy before, so this is gonna be a fun experiment. We'll see how it goes. I'm Mama Pipes, and it's 420. Let's get baked! Butterscotch is pretty simple in terms of ingredients. I just need sugar, honey, salt, filtered water, regular unsalted butter, cannabis infused butter, rum extract or vanilla extract, I ended up using both, and corn syrup. And as I measure all this out, I realize that this recipe is mostly butter and sugar, which is why it tastes so friggin' good. Oh, you cannot go wrong with butter and sugar. First, I need to prepare my 10 by 15 inch baking sheet. I've made a grid on a piece of parchment paper that is 1.5 inches by 1 inch, and I'm going to use that to cut out even pieces of butterscotch as soon as it's set in the pan. So I'm going to turn that face down and then cover the whole thing in a boatload of butter. This candy is super sticky and I don't want any of it to get lost in the pan, so I am covering every nook and crevice and cranny in a thick layer of melted butter. And now I need to go wash my hands. The most important tool in making hard candy is a good thermometer. Temperature and timing is everything. First, I'm mixing together my sugar, water, and corn syrup. And the corn syrup is going to help keep that sugar from crystallizing as it melts and then rehardens again. Thanks, corn syrup! I'm going to take out that thermometer because I actually don't need it quite yet. I'm going to give this all a quick stir and then put the lid back on so that I can let that sugar liquefy completely. As soon as it's totally melted and slightly bubbling, I'm going to give it another stir and then put that thermometer back on because I need this to get to 270 degrees Fahrenheit. And I'm going to take a full 20 minutes to get there. If I heat the sugar too quickly, it could burn, which will ruin everything, and I'll have to start over. I am also not allowed to touch it or stir it for the full 20 minutes. I just have to watch that thermometer like a hawk. 10 minutes in, and I've got a rolling boil going, which means I should be at least 212 degrees Fahrenheit, but I'm well below that. So I'm going to bring in another thermometer that I happen to have lying here to find out that I'm well above 212 degrees, and evidently I should have tested my thermometer before starting. I have to thank my husband for being prepared and having an extra thermometer lying around. 20 minutes in, my sugar has just reached 270 degrees, which means it is time to carefully add my honey, salts, and both butters. This sugar is super hot, so I need to be really careful to make sure that I don't burn myself horrifically. By this point, my butter should be at room temperature, which is exactly where I want it, so that it doesn't lower the temperature of the sugar too much and it melts quickly in the pan. As it melts, I'm going to continue stirring it, and it's going to get nice and bubbly and fluffy. I'm going to stir it for another 10 minutes until it gets a nice deep caramel color and reaches 300 degrees Fahrenheit. As soon as it reaches 300 degrees, I need to quickly get it off the heat and add those extracts. Don't panic, Pipes. Move fast. Get it off the heat and add those extracts, which will actually sizzle as they hit this hot sugar. Listen. Ooh, that sizzle. Yeah, this is really hot sugar. I'm going to pour this really hot sugar into my prepared pan without scraping or spreading. If I do that, I risk getting spun sugar, which is fun, but not what I'm going for today. I just need to let it ooze out into the pan and then let it set. After 10 minutes, my butterscotch is set, but not totally hard yet, which I think is the point to turn it out onto my parchment paper. And if I buttered it correctly, it should just come right out as I lift the pan up, and of course I didn't add enough butter. It's okay, don't panic, just get a sharp knife and score all the way around the edges, which should hopefully free it from its metal prison and it's not stuck on the bottom. Oh, thank God. Do a little happy dance and a thumbs up, which doesn't make it on camera, and then it's time to score my butterscotch using the grid that I made earlier. Evidently, I did add enough butter to the parchment paper because that's slipping and sliding like crazy. I just didn't quite get enough on those edges. I'm going to go over my grid a few times with my knife because half of my butterscotch is really soft and thick and the other half is really thin and hard already, which might be because of my very crooked house, but also I think I probably waited a little too long before turning it out. I probably should have turned it out at 5 minutes instead of waiting the full 10, so I think half of these are probably going to break really nicely. Now, the worst part about butterscotch is waiting for it to cool completely because, man, it smells good. But I did wait the full 2 hours and then broke it with my hands into mostly even pieces, and considering it was my first attempt at hard candy, it could have gone a lot worse. And the flavor is spot on. It's sweet and buttery, just like a Werther's, but with that little something extra, and takes me right back to the good old days. If you liked that recipe, you can check out the others on our channel. I've got a whole bunch of them with new ones on the way, so please like and subscribe and follow me in all the places, Twitter and Instagram and Facebook, so that I can keep doing what I love, which is bringing you recipes utilizing cannabis in clever and delicious ways. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.